really good stop anywhere in between. Number one, sexism is just as stupid and just as childish as racism. Or as, as discrimination of anyone over something that it means nothing, like someone's sexuality. I've grown up my entire life, I've had family who were homosexual. I've known a lot of people who are homosexual, and it's just always been normal for me. I mean, I never got weirded out about it. I never thought it was strange, because they're just people, man. I mean, there's not, and I honestly couldn't give two shits about who someone shares their bed with. And more importantly, I shouldn't know that, or it doesn't apply to me, so I don't care. Now, if I have a friend who is gay and he's found the love of his life, hey, fantastic. I'm happy for you, and I'd be but drawing a line at someone else's choices that don't affect you and are not, like I said, vile, that doesn't make any sense. But actively participating in and identifying with a group of people who maybe are just spouting off, but seem to legitimately believe that women torture them by not having sex with them, and they're cruel and whatever. Come on, man. Honestly, do you believe that's ever actually happened? And maybe it has, because there are definitely some bitches out there, just like there are some douchebags. And it sounds like it's pretty much a pre-qualification to be one of these guys, is being a douchebag. And I only say that because, hey, there's nothing wrong with, if it's eating at you, to try to find support in some way, to try to find kinship or camaraderie with other people. But there is something wrong with it when your knee-jerk reaction is to blame women. Just women in general. Just women. Fucking, that's it. It just, boom. No Y chromosomes in there. Boom. Doesn't matter. Women. Evil. It's fucking retarded. If you think that, you are dumb. I mean, just period. You're dumb. There's no getting around it. You really need to reconsider what makes any damn sense when posing a question and what doesn't, because that doesn't make any damn sense. I hate to say it, but we are all fly shit in this world. We're all tiny, tiny specks in the universe. All our lives are crazy complicated. So to think that that women as a whole have targeted you is some narcissistic shit. You're not that important. Now, I don't mean that to be mean. I'm not that important. I get that. I'm important to a few people in life. There are a few people in life who are important to me. And I think that's how it's supposed to be. I just think that this is something that, for any guy who actually legitimately subscribes to this thought, this train of thought, this belief that women are nasty, evil, just spiteful bitches that are out there to give you blue balls and laugh at your pain. Stop acting like a fucking toddler. Think about what you're saying. That's dumb. You may get into a relationship where your significant other behaves that way. That's That's possible. I mean, if you make a woman mad, they can, just like the depths of hell, you never know until you've been there. But I mean, I think that no matter what, this guy, I hope that he gets repeatedly brutalized in prison. I hope he stays alive. I hope that the suicide watch that he's on is very tight, very observant, and they don't let this chicken shit coward back out of what he's earned. And when you run down and kill 10 people, injure 15 more because you're sexually frustrated, which, like I said, I can't even confirm that this is the reason why. This is I had heard it on Free Talk Live. If you don't know what Free Talk Live is, you should check it out. They're liberty-minded folks. Free Talk Live is they talk about the New Hampshire political movement, the liberty movement in New Hampshire. It is very, very progressive, and yes, I'm driving, by the way. If it hasn't come across loud and clear, I am currently driving. But Free Talk Live, they were talking about this instance and talking about this incel revolution, I guess is what it's being called on the interwebs, on the WWs. I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up because I think it's a repulsive thing. It's just, you know what, there is plenty of hate in this world. I mean, there's just no doubt that there is more hate to go around than we've ever needed as a society, as a people. And I'm not sure that giving anyone more excuses or buying into more excuses from people as to why they should be pissed or offended or why they're victimized or why this or why that, I don't think that's the right call anymore. I mean, there are people who have justified, honest gripes with certain things. I mean, yes, racism, sexism, every ism exists out there. Is it widespread? I don't think a lot of this is very widespread anymore. And I think that when you constantly are, the worst one is the subconscious bias argument, which is just retarded at its core. We all relate to those we find relatable. It's natural. So if someone you can identify with because they look like you or they're from your area, grew up where you did, or hold similarities in some ways, you may well relate to that person. You may identify with that person. You may, so it's not, if you're black and your whole family is black, you may have some partiality to black people over white people. And that's okay, because you can be partial to one or the other. It's when you are prejudiced against or biased against someone not like you. That's when you become a bigot, an asshole, a douchebag. To not be able to admit that there are legitimate reasons for certain things. There are reasons why men looking at pictures of women they find sexually appealing turn them on, whereas men looking at pictures of women they don't find sexually appealing don't. It just makes sense. And it's the same thing, like I said, when you're identifying with somebody who has some similarity to you that you can immediately relate to, well, that makes sense. But this is the type of thing that, like I said, I mean, there's no reason to buy into this nonsense. If anybody brings it up, you know, it might behoove you as a thinking person to set them straight and say, listen, jackass, women are not out to get you. Women don't, you know, it's not that women are not having sex with you because they want to make your life miserable. That is some absolutely ridiculous, just ridiculous thinking, man. It's so stupid. Alright, that being said, yeah, check out the Q posts, look up Lionel Nation, go to InfoWars, check out, just check some places out, other than the mainstream media, which has become, even Fox News is so watered down, it is, it's just obnoxious and annoying at this point. It's like, well, okay, we get it. You were bought by Disney, and you can't do or say anything controversial anymore. I mean, Sean Hannity, I think, kind of still can, because he's Sean Hannity, and you know, he's gonna have a following regardless, because he's been doing this shit forever. But even his reporting has gotten a little bit watered down. But then, of course, now he's been linked to Michael Cohen and the Red Menace. Yes. Not that that's true, but they'll make the link somehow. Somehow, Sean Hannity is gonna, as that useless tool Adam Schiff would say, he's gonna carry water for Putin. And I say that Adam Schiff is a useless tool because Adam Schiff is, in fact, a useless tool. He's on, you know, I'm sorry, when you're on Intel committees and you refuse to provide the American public with the truth because you don't like how it plays politically, that is useless. You are effectively, you've morphed into a useless tool. Congratulations, Adam Schiff. Hopefully, instead of a re-election party, hopefully you get a party on being a useless tool, because hopefully you're never re-elected. In fact, I hope you're chased out of office along with about 85 to 90% of everyone else in Congress. Because I think that is incredibly important that everybody look at their particular representatives. You don't need to look all around. You don't need to look at Nancy Pelosi. You don't need to look at Chuck Schumer. You don't need to look at on the other end, you know, Lindsey Graham, or, you know, Mitch McConnell, or Paul Ryan, or whatever. I'm actually really thankful Paul Ryan is not going to run again too. Not that I don't think that he was well intentioned. I believe he probably was, but no, he allowed that bag of shit of an omnibus bill to go through. You know, I don't know. There's just, politicians are not working for the American public. If you believe that they are, look at some of the dog shit laws that have been passed. Why is it that Obamacare, which is so highly praised by the left, why is that Obamacare punished the purchaser, the individual? There, you know, hence the individual mandate for not getting insurance, but does not in effect punish the corporate giants that provide the insurance or provide the medical services at unbelievable costs. Why is it that they're not being punished? Why are they not being audited? Why are their profits not being looked at as potentially gouging? The fact that we've had more protections in the United States against inflating gas costs than we've had against inflating medical costs, is pathetic, and it is symptomatic of a truly